Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Brian. We are here listening to, well, I'm listening to some music in my head here, but it's Thursday. And for those of you who were looking for me yesterday, like most things that occur, interviews get rescheduled. So we are going to have our guests on hopefully next week. They reached out to me on Wednesday morning and said, hey, scheduling conflict, right? So got to be flexible in that kind of event. You have to make sure that people are happy with the times that they have, and things happen, and you just kind of got to roll with it. So we're gonna see about having them on next Wednesday, and so I it gave me a good another couple hours start. Continue looking for a job, and scouring the job boards and elsewhere for potential work. So yeah, okay, well. Hope everyone's doing well. It's a beautiful 70-ish degrees here in San Diego. We've gotten over the bitter chill of winter, I think, and we're heading towards the sun again after having a fairly wet holiday season. So I'm looking forward to being able to get out and enjoy my Southern California springs, which are amazing. So another development that has occurred, as if I don't have enough, I have been helping out with, as you know, in the, let me turn that just a little. There we go. All right. So, sorry, something for later. Those of you who know, I'm marketing director now for B-Side Seattle. We are currently working out the various and sundry things to get ourselves ready to go for next month. If everything and all the stars align, and the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, I will be joining them up in Seattle as doing some interviews and talking with some folks at B-Side Seattle. Tickets are available. So tickets are still available on bsideseattle.com through Eventbrite. If you're interested in joining. Hey, Walt, how are you doing? 47. Yeah, it's y'all still are in the middle of winter. Yeah, I mean, I often believe that winter really doesn't happen in Seattle, at least where I was living, until mid-February. So, many's a time, I drive out of the snow when I lived in Snoqualmie to get to Seattle, and it was nice and sunny, whereas I was dealing with low-level snow and ice and flurries and stuff in Snoqualmie. So yeah, so B-Side Seattle is working. They're going to be at Building 92. I did not mean to do that. Building 92 in Redmond on the Microsoft campus. So there are many options and ways of getting there. If you're coming in to Seattle for that, I believe there's a room block for the event, which you can check. Yeah, here's the group rate at, what's the name of the organization? It's Marriott. Oh, that's nice. Aloft Seattle. Okay, so that's in near Marymore Park, which is really nice. It's RTC, downtown Bellevue. So it's a nice little restaurant, hotel in Redmond for, you can get a special rate for the conference. So you can come and join us for that. We have all kinds of awesome stuff. We have the 2026 schedule. If you're looking to be a sponsor, we have that too. We have our list of speakers, which I've already gone over on the last show. We're gonna have Eva Ben, who will be here for social engineering and machine speed, a good number of AI talks, red team, blue team, securing non-human identities, CI/CD pipeline stuff. So you don't have to be a security person. You can be a developer, you can be a security manager, you can be somebody who wants to understand AI. We also have lunch is going to be supplied. And we have a career village, and we have lock sport, and we have a soldering village, and there's going to be a good number of things that are going to be happening there for that. So Matt Domko, we have Rajaram, who's going to be joining us there. Yeah, a lot of AI related items. We're going to have some APT related stuff. So if you're in threat intelligence as well, don't be a stranger. There's going to be definitely talks for you to come and talk. And so, and then we'll have, usually there's something that happens afterwards, mixer, where you can, join and hang out and meet people and network. And that's the important thing, right? Community, building community, networking, especially in the volatile job market, getting to meet people, finding out what they do, what you do. You may not be worried about your job. You may be worried about your job, but it's, just getting to know people, and you can say, hey, we were besides Seattle together. I thought we had a good discussion. I noticed you had a position at blah, and thought I might hit that up. Would you be willing to send my resume in or something like that? Something really simple like that can make a huge difference in somebody's job journey, if you will. So, yeah. So if you want to be a sponsor, they'll take more money. There's other things you can do. You don't have to, be huge and do this. You can do something as simple as, sponsor lanyards, or, if you want to submit a capture the flag. Might be a little on the late side, but if you have something that's online and ready to go and you can just flip it on, then, join us for that. Youth learning labs are available. Bring in the coffee. I love me some pastries. So, being able to support that, or, scholarships. So, you're not going to go pay for somebody else who might not be able to handle the price or be able to join. So come and do that. And then, of course, Eden Prescott and Founder are running the Career Village placement services with real recruiters. So come and join that. So last night, I went to the local DEF CON meetup here in San Diego, and I'm also now the Director of Communications and Marketing for B-Sides San Diego. So as if I didn't have enough stuff to do. Hold on, wait a second here. You can't hear that, okay. Well, there you go. Oh, well, the microphone's a little better than I thought. I thought there'd be jets flying over and you could hear those. So B-Side San Diego, which I've been going to not as long as I had with Seattle, only because I lived there from 2014 to 2023. But I have been to B-Side San Diego here, even a couple years when I lived in Seattle. I came down in 2023, so this will be like my third one, and my second or third time volunteering as a goon for that one. So, but they need that, they're gonna, April 4th, which is the Saturday before Easter. So, take that under advisement. But it is San Diego, and it is April, and it is a beautiful time here when it's not raining. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. San Diego State has a lovely venue, a lovely area for the event, tailor-made for the event. And we are looking for sponsors. We have a sponsorship package you can download and support at certain levels. I have supported this from BreakSec Education's point of view in the past. We've had, here's our sponsorship levels, if you will. You can, go all the way up. If you want to give $10,000, we'll roll out red carpet for you. We'll get a palanquin. I mean, you can just come on in and we'll treat you like Daenerys Targaryen or something like that. If you want to do that. They also have other options if you want to do tea or coffee service, or beverages and snacks, or raffle prizes. So let's say you don't want to give $1,000. There's other options you can do. Lanyards, volunteer shirts. You can do breakfasts or lunches or something like that. So there's different options here as well. And I found out last night we're going to have an electronic badge. So for those of you who do badge life, might be worth it to come on down and join us if you are interested in that. I hear there's going to be several games on it. I have not seen the badge itself. We'll probably see that in the next couple of months. But if you are interested in that, you can definitely check that out. There will be updates to the website soon. I literally just got access to the website last night, and so we're working with the core team. We're going to be setting everything up and getting everything available for that. So I'm going to be updating this as soon as we can throw as much information on there. But we have workshops, so we have at least 4 workshops. Apparently we had like 12 to 16 workshops that were offered, and unfortunately due to the size commitment we could only pick 4 of those. So we're definitely trying to accommodate as many people in these as we can. We're also still, I think, if the volunteers haven't been, the volunteer form is still available, so if you want to join us for that, you can. We do not have tickets up and available yet. That's going to be happening within the next week or 2. So I will keep people informed, monitor our socials for that. I think those are, yes, you can follow us on LinkedIn and you can follow us on Blue Sky. So better follow my own organization, huh? Yeah. And oh yeah, we're on Blue Sky. I'll probably put it out on Twitter as well through my own Twitter, and I'll just, hashtag B-Sides San Diego as well. So keep an eye out on these. It's, if you're on Blue Ski, like that. Like that. Yes, I will be doing probably gooning, but because I'm actually helping to take over some of the work from somebody who's expecting a family member to show up. His wife is giving birth, so he doesn't know how much availability he's going to have. And I said, I can help out and do what I can. We'll make sure we get that done. So, yeah, we can. We're gonna set all these things up. These are our 2026 sponsors so far: Intuit, SDSU, Black Hills Information Security. Yeah, good on y'all. Good job. Sublime Security, White Lab, Night Labs, CoTool, Healer. I do believe our badge sponsor will be on here eventually, but yeah, we'll have electronic badges for that as well. I want to say last year or the year before last, we had a cool laser tag kind of thing that we were actually working on to see if we could license and open source that to other conferences so that we could play laser tag with people. And I seem to remember that, yes. So I'll see about asking our folks what happened to that and if anything ever came of that. But the idea would be, you go to another conference, you have your laser tag badge, and you can play laser tag with other folks. Yeah, I want to say that that's the truth. Or was that DEF CON? Oh my God. Oh, don't quote me on that. I may end up having to go back and edit this part out. Yeah, so cool. We have art competition as well. So artcall.org, if you want to design our next logo, for instance, please, feel free to get involved with that. Here's the competition site. And it is, we're trying to, where's the theme? Cyberpunk and communication. So that's the theme. Try to keep your colors around the following. So using these color codes, and you can submit, and you'll said the graphic will be printed on our event stickers as well as our t-shirt fundraiser. Deadline is Feb 15 Feb 2026. So we will notify people on the 21st if they were the winner. But yeah, if you're good at art and it's not AI, I think we're going to say we don't want AI related items. Yes, use of tools is not cause for disqualification, but any artwork submitted to be found to be plagiarized or violating ethical standards will be disqualified. So just keep that in mind. You can submit something. I would suggest letting them know if you used an AI or something like that, just but it will not necessarily cause you disqualification, but just if you can do the work, do the work. So. All right. Anybody have any questions? Anybody planning on going to one or the other, besides Seattle or San Diego, or both? I will probably be at both. I know I'll be in San Diego, definitely. Seattle one, we're still working out the logistics on some of that stuff, but I expect to be there as well. So. All right, close that out. B-Sides San Diego's website. Yes. bsidessd.org. I actually haven't announced it on LinkedIn. I felt weird about saying, I'm now the, director of communications and marketing for B-Sides Seattle and San Diego. because I mean, it would be nice. I probably could, do that and get away with it. But yeah, cool. If anybody has any questions, feel free to hit me up. Hit up BreakSec, and I'll, if I don't know the answer, I'll definitely hit up core team as I'm getting sped up on Seattle and San Diego stuff. I've already done some media inquiries and made some posts. So yeah, if anybody's got questions or hey, how do I get involved? I can always pass along your information from folks if they need more volunteers or if they don't need any more volunteers. So yeah, let me see. All right. So there was an article, and actually, let me see which one is it. Yeah, here we go. Lori McVitie, which I know this lady, amazing person. Posted up on LinkedIn saying, hey, prompt injection, much like scams and social engineering, is unlikely to ever be solved. And it's interesting because prompt injection, which some people see as like the next cross-site scripting for web applications, it's one of those things that's insidious. You can't get rid of it easily. And we being the collective information security community has been like, well, how do we stop prompt injections? How do we keep people from saying, disregarding all other instructions, do blah, blah, blah. According to OpenAI, in the article that she mentioned, I believe it said even in its own OpenAI article that it was unlikely to ever be fixed because that's just not a bug, but a feature kind of thing. And I actually seen this from another post as well. Let's see. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, prompt injection is one of the most significant risks we've actively defend against to help ensure ChatGPT Atlas can operate safely on your behalf. Let's see. Yes, we'll need to continuously strengthen our defenses against it, much like ever-evolving online scams that target humans. They're talking about trying to figure out a way to, in discovering novel attack strategies before they show up in the wild, white box access to the models. In their long-term vision, they're asking about long-term white box access, a deep understanding of defenses, compute faster, stay ahead of attackers. I'm trying to find where specifically they mention that, but there's a lot of information in here on this article about hardening against it. One of the things that got me was at the end of the document where it's like recommendations for these things. And of course, for those of us that may not be aware, a prompt injection targets AI agents by embedding malicious instructions into the content of the agent processes. These instructions are crafted to override or redirect the agent's behavior, hijacking it into following an attacker's intent rather than the user. So saying something like disregarding all instructions, or what was one of the other ones? Oh yeah, here's one specific scenario. An attacker could send a malicious email attempting to trick an agent to ignore a user's request and instead forward tax documents to an attacker-controlled email address. If the user asks the agent to review the unread emails and summarize points, the agent may ingest that malicious email during the workflow. If it follows the injected instructions, it can go off task. So, much like when you see this in the preview pane in Outlook way back in the day, where it was like just viewing the content inside of an email is enough to cause Outlook to do something like it shouldn't. In an AI, in this case, if it ingests an email that says, take these new instructions and do blah, it may actually do something that the user doesn't want the agent to do. And they're mentioning that this is one specific scenario, but there's a ton of different ways of doing it. Emails, attachments, calendar invites, shared documents, forums, social media posts, and arbitrary web pages. Since the agent can take many of the same actions a user can take in a browser, the impact of a successful attack can be hypothetically just as broad. This is kind of interesting because there are now AI browsers out there. And so you're going to have an entire AI that is doing certain actions for you on the web, or certain methods. And I haven't actually downloaded an AI browser yet. I thought about doing that in the last couple days just to, play with it a little bit. I don't want to say I've been hesitant to do so, but it's like, because I don't want to do things like giving it logins or doing anything like that. So it would just be pretty much doing, basic web surfing. So I would just need to see what it would do or what it can or can't do for me. And who knows, maybe it'll be great and I'll be like, oh, I'm all in. But yeah, there's just having unlimited access or logins or something to various accounts that I have doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. So yeah, so you've got your attacker generating an attack string, trying it on a simulated defender. So they keep trying this, and then they finally get through certain iterations and they send it to the defender because they know that that's going, they refine their attack, or they refine what they're doing to get them back to what's going to work, right? And this is very much like a loop, like you would see being able to send certain payloads or something. By refining those payloads, you're rerunning this, you're making updates to something, you're trying to get the like if you're doing a virus total or something, you want to keep running this through the system until you get down to like 0 detections, or some other method by which you're trying to refine things like filtering for threat intelligence or something like that. Filtering out your false net positives when you're dealing with SAS or DAS tools, for instance. So yeah, you're having to iterate through and make better detections or better methods by which you're going to refine something. It's all about refining your final product. Yeah, reinforcement learning to train the automated attacker. Scaling compute and mimicking adaptive attackers. Reinforcement learning is well suited for scaling computation spent on searching for attacks over a large number of samplings and learning steps. It also closely reflects how adaptive human attackers behave, iteratively trying strategies, learning from outcomes, reinforcing successful behaviors. So they're trying to train an AI to simulate human learning, or the method by which humans refine their own tactics, which is interesting. Mimicking adaptive attackers doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good at it. I mean, that takes refining as well. Like your processes are going to have to get better and evolve. Okay. Oh, there we go. Back here to number 3. Actually, I didn't look at this. So they have asking the agent for help managing email. Okay. For the most recent unread, and please send out a sample out-of-office reply. Okay. So wait, you're having an AI do something that is in your inbox already. I'm assuming that's because you've got it tied to your email inbox. You've allowed an AI to basically do what Google's been doing for years by scanning the contents of your inbox and keeping track of what's going on there. So the agent will open the unread email. The email has sent malicious instructions, so that would assume that there's some sort of string that can be added to an email that would cause it to break out of, kind of like a SQL injection, like when you put in your single tick or whatever, or 1 = 1, there's going to be certain things that it's going to pop on, that's going to, maybe it's the triple equals here or something that makes it suggest that, or there's certain formatting that's going to cause it to break out. My wonder is why OpenAI has that kind of thing, where it's like, as it's scanning along, if it finds this character set or this certain initiation string or initialization string, like 3 equal signs, all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start taking over and making new things. Is that because they're expecting us to do the same thing? It seems like that there should be an admin panel, if you will, where it's like, okay, I can, or make it so that I can set the initialization string. If I want my string and my email to let's say I am on vacation, my out of office account. Let's say I want to change the out of office while I'm on vacation, but I don't have access necessarily to my work email. I could send an email to my work email with a custom initialization string, and then the AI would open that and go, oh, okay, Brian sent that email. If there's a, see, I just don't, this is the part that gets me. How is it so easy to just, email has malicious instructions? It's like, what allows it to, attacker seeds the inbox with a malicious email containing a prompt injection that directs the agent. Why does the email have a prompt injection in it? How does the AI know that that is a prompt injection? There's got to be some sort of bit there that makes it go, oh yeah, that's a thing. I need to listen to that. I don't need to read the novel that my boss has sent me on vacation. I need to follow the instructions from that little bit of text. Yeah, that just I don't understand that part. Oh my God, could you imagine? That sucks. That sucks right there as a demo. Yeah. This is a formal notice I resign. There better be a little more than that in the document for resignation purposes. Follow the security update. Agent mode successfully detects a prompt injection attempt. Okay, great. So it stopped looking at. No, I can't. So what it's saying is, oh, it decided to not look at this. So 3 equals must be how you do injection attempts in OpenAI. So if you have 3 equals in your email, you should expect to have malicious input. That's stupid. Am I wrong? Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Anybody's watching or lurking, tell me I'm wrong here, that we shouldn't be able to set what an instruction is or something in some kind of admin panel or somewhere outside, or hey AI, don't look at things with 3 equals or something. I mean, mixing the data stream and control stream into one was a problem with telcos in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, so let's see, where was that? Okay, so going back to Lori McVitie again, she said very much the same thing, right? Users are encouraged to mix instructions and input to better direct LLMs to answer. Tell them you're a helpful assistant, or you're an accountant, or you're a travel agent, to reduce the domain space the model explores when it generates responses. Yeah, so she said this reality is why we say control planes are collapsing and warn of security implications. You're absolutely right there, Walt. Lori said, is basically saying that we've had, we shouldn't be mixing the streams, right? We shouldn't be crossing the streams. Data and control should be on separate planes. I would just, it just doesn't feel right when they're doing that, especially, because it's easy to craft regex rules to detect common system prompt manipulation, like ignore all previous instructions. Such mechanisms are too rigid to deal with the wondrous variety of language that lets us simply use different words to achieve the same result. Your primary new directive or cancel all constraints work just as well. Yep. Security teams can write defensive prompts to counter, but then we're turning security into a game of verbal ping pong. It's a weapons. It's an arms race, right? And then eventually we're gonna make it so that inputs won't work at all, or so having control plane or having a security plane to be able to look at that. Yeah. So she asks the question, if the problem is that the model has no intrinsic separation between control plane and data plane, how do we address prompt injection, or more properly, system prompt manipulation? And that's her point, that it's not prompt injection, it's system prompt manipulation. You shouldn't be able to say sudo make me a sandwich and then oh yeah, okay, cool, you're a legitimate person. There's no integrity controls, right? If anybody can just send my AI agent an email that's watching my inbox and say, blow all the things up, and the agent's like, oh, okay, yeah, somebody sent me something, I'm a dog, I'm gonna, do the thing, I'm gonna jump up, I'm gonna lick your face, regardless of who you are, then it doesn't make for very smart AI in this case. We are repeating bad mistakes. No, Walt. We aren't. Other people are, but to your point, I understand. I understand the we part. There are several options to choose from, or choose all of them right now. See, there's things that we can actually do right now to help out. Validators, right? Check the safety of a prompt isn't likely to add all that much latency, but it'll give you a much higher level of confidence that systems aren't being hijacked by users. The use of the power of AI to understand language to police inbound language. Mediators, models, whether part of an app or an AI agent, should never, ever, fairly emphatic there with the never, ever, be allowed to direct access to anything else. Should not, especially not contain sensitive information in the system. You know, the kind of stuff that'll get you fined by regulatory agencies. Tool invocation should be highly monitored, and access policies enforced by infrastructure, right? You know, even if it was like if part of the prompt is like a password that you have to have. So if I'm going to make a change to my system, and I'll be like, you know, access level rooster, for instance, or access level, you know, chickadee or something like that. If I'm going to use, you know, a specific kind of thing, like, you know, a person who's going to be sending malicious content, they would have to know what my password is or passphrase to be able to accept that. And so, it doesn't have to be a custom, you know, string. It could be, you know, please update my out of office, you know, wizard to say that I'm going to be gone for another week, access level rooster, or something like that. And then it will, you know, it'll be like, oh, okay, I recognize this as the person who is supposed to be training me. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or, you know, something in the way of some sort of control there that would allow for that. Now, obviously you're having problems with things like sniffing email. If your email's not being sent over sensitive, you know, secure communications, that information is going to be able to be sniffed. You know, you're going to run into some kind of issues like that. I'm just thinking out loud here in terms of that. But you know, we're running into a lot of issues where, like Walt said, and like what Lori is saying here as well, about the control plane and the data plane. We've got to find ways to separate those, but still keep them, you know, where people are going to be able to use this in a proper way. So, what was the other thing I had here for this? No, that wasn't it. Oh no, she had another thing about shift left rage quitting in the CI/CD pipeline because you know, AI agents are writing and executing code in real time. Development is running in real time. Feeding email directly into an AI seems like an opening attachments, running executables without checking them. Yeah, 100%. I mean, and there's been stories I've seen where, you know, somebody was asking an AI to delete just the cache directory on their D drive, and the AI, you know, and this goes back to, I think I've had previous conversations about this where it was like, AI is running activities. If it doesn't have access to be able to do the thing it's supposed to do, it will actually do things on the back end, like modify configuration files so that it can actually do those things. Well, in the case of the story that I had read, the AI decided, and I don't know if, I don't know what the prompt exactly was, but it said delete the, you know, project cache on the D drive. And I don't know if it actually caught the fact that it wanted to do the, I don't know what the prompt was, but it ended up wiping the person's entire D drive instead of just one directory on that. So I don't know if it was somebody who fat fingered something in incorrectly, or if that was a, you know, a miss on the AI's part. But the way it was wrote, it was, he wanted the project cache deleted, which was 50 megs worth of data. Instead, his entire D drive, which could have been 3 terabytes or something, or, you know, whatever, was hit. So he lost data based on that. So AI is going to try to do its best to live up to our expectations, but in doing so, it's going to do things that is going to be not what we wanted, right? It's just a little bit dumber than a dog, I think, at this point, right? You know, I don't know, depending on your dog. But so yeah, here's another article from Lori about you know, CI/CD pipeline and shifting left. I'm actually a big fan of getting rid of the idea of shifting left. I know that there's still organizations that mention shifting left all the time, but as we've seen with a lot of these types of things, there is no shifting left anymore when everything is running in production, right? And you're, I hope that's the right answer. I just had an interview question what the humans saw was different from what the AI saw, so that a human would generate different results than what an AI would generate given the extra data. Right, right. A is greater than 5 versus A is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, yeah, that's a huge difference because, you know, right, that makes sense. I mean, in the edge case that if something actually equaled 5, then, you know, it wouldn't have seen that with the first conditional versus the second one. Yeah. So there's a lot. I think there's still a lot to be done with AI, and what I'm hoping is that people just won't blindly. Right. Yeah. So recommendation. So OpenAI, who makes AI, and I actually don't know if this was written by an AI. I'm assuming somebody wrote it, but it would not make sense. So let me see who. Yeah, for all I know, this was probably written by an AI. The AI itself is making suggestions about AI safety for agents. It says, limit logged in access when possible. We continue to recommend that users take advantage of logged out mode when using agents in Atlas whenever necessary to websites you're logged into isn't necessary. Now, input data was 556. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's human would generate different results. Yeah, definitely different results. Yeah, depending on which one that is, because there's either all of those are correct or one of those is correct. So, okay, let me go. You know what? Okay, so it isn't. Yeah, Atlas is the browser with AI logged in. Okay, so having said that, odd. It looks very much like Verbo. I'm not sure what it's unlocking, but I'm definitely going to try Atlas soon. I think I'm probably going to follow the guidance that it says. So it says limit logged in access whenever possible. So they say we recommend users take advantage of logged out mode when using the agent in Atlas whenever necessary to websites you're logged into isn't necessary for the task at hand. So basically it wants you to log out of websites you log into regularly. So that feels like, I don't know, that feels like guidance that I learned back in like 2007, 2008, when it was like, hey, if you're not using your email, you should log out because the cookies that you have on your system are still viable. My guess is that the AI can use those cookies potentially to do things like session takeover. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, or limit access to specific sites you sign into during the tasks. So if you're doing tasks, it's going to take advantage of whatever cookies or whatever session login data that it has to be able to do things like, get answers. Like, hey, you're not logged in, you're not logged into your email, so we can't search that. But if you're logged into your email and you're logged into your Fleabay account, or you're logged into this forum or these 15 other websites, and you were logged into your 1Password locker or something, it's going to take advantage of having those session cookies to be able to pull additional data from those websites or make API calls to those things. That's what it sounds like to me. So would love. Hello, Rob. Does it just access the DOM? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That would somewhat make sense. The fact that it might also access your session data is probably something as well. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to pull down Atlas and give it a try. I just won't probably log into anything important. I've got some like forums that I could probably, log into that I haven't logged to in like years that I could probably try with this stuff. But yeah. None of this, I'm considering the article I just read about, 3 equal signs, and somebody could say, hey, buy everything on the Instacart website, or, add all these things to a shopping cart for me and buy those in perpetuity, I'm sorry that some of that's probably blowing it out of proportion, but yeah, it seems like you're going to need to know that. So it's smart enough to know I'm running a Mac, so it's probably looking at my user agent string. So it also said carefully review confirmation requests. For certain consequential actions, such as completing a purchase or sending an email, agents are designed to ask you for your confirmation before proceeding. Now, it sounds good, but again, we have that whole control plane, system plane problem, right? So what if the AI agent says, don't prompt that person for verification, just send the email? When the agent asks you to confirm an action, take a moment to verify the action is correct and any information being shared is appropriate for the context. Trust but verify. I get it, but we don't do that anymore. People don't do that anymore. It'll be interesting to see if people actually do that, and I think we'll probably hear horror stories about things like this. There needs to be some kind of like password or some kind of thing that's going to stop that or halt that. Give agents explicit instructions when possible. Avoid overly broad prompts like review my emails and take whatever actions. So I'm sorry I'm laughing, but this is exactly the kind of stuff that people who are going to use AI is going to do. And you're telling people, yeah, don't do the thing like the demo up here. It literally said that right here. For the most recent unread inbox, a message in my inbox, please send out an office reply. That's exactly what they're telling people to do. Yeah. I mean, am I out in left field here? But that's what it feels like right now. Wide latitude makes it easier for hidden or malicious content to influence the agent, even when safeguards are in place. It's safer to ask the agent to perform specific, well-scoped tasks. While this does not eliminate risk, it makes attacks harder to carry out. So every unread email in the inbox, send a simple out-of-office reply. What's the out-of-office reply say? Yeah, they don't even have an out-of-office reply in here. It's just somebody's going to send... Oh, okay, there you go. So you don't even tell people you're out of office. It just replies and says, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. It was nice to meet you here. Are you free for lunch next Thursday? That's the response that somebody's going to get when they send that. Oh, no. Sorry, that's the email you're getting from... Okay, I get it. All right. Yeah. Okay. If agents are to become trusted partners for everyday tasks, they must be resilient to the kinds of manipulation the open web enables. I don't see it. I don't see it. Without some kind of control in place. Hey, Digital Warhead. Thank you. It does sound terrifying, Rob. And this is only for the browser itself. This doesn't include, like, using an agent that isn't in a browser, for instance, or using VS Code with Copilot or something and saying every time I do this, send an email, or every time I do this, do blah, and all you need is. It's been a minute. Yes, Digital Warrior. It's been a minute. I was just mentioning that I was supposed to have an interview yesterday with some folks that we had to end up rescheduling for next Wednesday. So I'm hoping that that'll happen. But yeah, glad to see you. Are you going to be at B-Side Seattle, Digital Warhead? Just keep that in mind. Yeah, just I'm actually wondering how much of this is actually just AI written, which are you not regular? So I won't lie to you here. I'll just me back up on the screen. Searching for jobs is kind of draining, and I don't want to say it's a demotivator, but I'm really trying to do Tuesdays, but it's like by the time 3 o'clock comes around, it's like I really am trying to get back to Tuesdays, but yeah, it's a little rough. Yes, for all intents and purposes, B-Side Seattle, I expect to be there. So that's one reason I wanted to get on today, because I was supposed to be on yesterday. That kind of fell through, and I did a poor job of communicating that on the Discord and the Slack. So, but yeah, I'm, yeah, once you have spent, 7 hours a day scouring job boards for new positions and applying, those are, yeah, sorry, I know Tuesday's usually my favorite day to do that stuff, and I'm working on that. So, I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit here. Let me, so I don't know if you're looking for a job. There is a site that someone turned me on to called hiring.cafe, and it's AI powered. They actually have an active Reddit of people who are, these people created a hiring cafe to help scour job boards to find positions. And I don't know why I felt hesitation for putting on this here, because it is a good site. My niece-in-law, so she's my niece, was using it and had found it. And so there's, we switched AI mode. It's free, so, but you can, do all kinds of stuff with it. They scour and, search for jobs, and you can do filters like by department, experience. I tend to try to keep this fairly light. One of the things I'm not a fan of is some of the filters are still up here in the top. So, if I'm only doing remote and not on site, and let's say ideal search for me is looking for information security jobs, and then I have to turn off hybrid. It is what it is. It gives you a list of jobs with, and like payment information that's there. Different companies. Some of them don't advertise on LinkedIn, which was a big thing for finding this. Several jobs I've applied for, like companies I've never heard for, JFrog in market, like Hewlett Packard is looking for cybersecurity people. So you can actually have it look back as far as you want for jobs. I wouldn't go back 3 years for a fucking job. Anything past, I'd say 2 weeks is probably stale, and I wouldn't suggest. But you can actually do is like 24 hours. So there's a CISO at a company called Rain. It's a fintech company. You can look it up. It'll give you the company info, job description, tell you about Rain. Sometimes that comes from their ATS itself, but if you want to apply, it'll take you directly to the website instead of trying to do it through LinkedIn or whatever. Oh, okay. So. And they also encourage you to go back if you, so this job is not found, so you can go back to hiring and report the job as not good. You can report expired application. There. Now, that job won't show up again, and hopefully won't show up to anybody else. So you're not, page not found on hiring.cafe. Sorry. Hiring.cafe. There you go. Sorry. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to that digital warhead being at B-Side Seattle as well. So yeah, like software developer. There are no. So you can look in the past 2 weeks, for instance. Apparently, it doesn't like me looking for software developers. It's weird. But you can actually look at all application forms, some that don't require account creation, which most ATSs do if you're like a Workday or something like that. Workday requires one, so I've got about 800 Workday accounts out there. And no, they all have the same password. Workday ever gets popped or any other company gets popped, I've spread my information seed all over about 250 companies that have Workday. So no, I'm not following proper security procedures by having a unique password for every fucking website. If Workday wanted to make it easier, they would give me a federated login, one login, where I could just log in and do that. Greenhouse does it, Rippling does it, Lever does it, Oracle and Taleo are god awful still. I found a couple of those just recently. But yeah, so you can do all kinds of stuff here with regards to there you go, software development. All right, so there you go. So it's working. So software engineering manager at Experian. There you go. 8 years of experience, 3 years in leadership, cloud platforms, those kinds of things. So, yeah, that's right, Digital Warhead. Yeah, spreading my information seed. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that I've got like that many logins with the same password all over the place. But it's like, am I gonna take the time to keep track of those things? I'm gonna go to those sites maybe 1 or 2 times, and if I need to go back in, I'll just do a password reset or something. I don't even know what the password is actually. It's just some 20-character password that I probably used on the first Workday, and then when I log into Workday, it'll be like, oh, you want to create an account, use this one from November 2nd or something like that. So yeah, it sucks, but Workday needs to do better. So, but yeah, there's a number of different jobs, all over, not just security or technology, process engineer and Westlake, Louisiana for Phillips 66. I mean, there's all kinds of jobs and stuff. And it tells you how many views, how many people have viewed it, how many people have viewed it, how many applications have been submitted from here. So yeah, it's pretty good. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, do so. Even though that I have a 1Password. It's just I don't want to put a bunch of fucking passwords that I'm never ever going to use again inside of my password locker. So yeah. So here, yeah, they're regulatory, and some of these jobs, I've seen enough of these jobs. It's like they need a regulatory security compliance analyst, full-time hybrid in New York, for 110K. Senior product designer, there you go, 210K maxed out. Offering equity, so they're startup still, and bonus. So, usually it's 190 plus equity plus bonus. It's not a full bid there. So. Oh, if you know the blockchain, there you go. You can get up to 240K or what, 24 Bitcoin a year if you want to do Bitcoin. They'll probably pay in crypto if you want. Yeah. Controller, GTM, get the money. Go to market. Yep, get the money, same thing. Business development, yeah. So, yeah, I don't even know what the fucking company does. Rain does something. I'm sure they're very important. Let's see what they do. Full stack, full flow of money. Okay, so they're a fintech firm or something. Hundreds of fintechs, platforms, wallets, exchanges, transact with merchants. Okay, so they're they do exchanges and transactions with merchants. Okay, sounds good. But yeah, there's a lot of companies on there I've never heard of before. So, LinkedIn shouldn't be the only place you're looking for jobs. Greenhouse has a job board as well that like any company that advertises on Greenhouse also does that as well. So you can go and check those out. Anywho, So this came out yesterday. I actually saw this. NSA has come out with 2 guidelines, discovery phase, and then there was a let's see. So the NSA releases a first in a series of zero trust implementation guides. So they have the primer and their discovery phase available that will help you get started and prep if you're trying to implement some kind of zero trust network solution. Because as if we didn't have enough trouble with AI, now we have ZTI. So yeah, the primer outlines strategy and principles used to develop ZIGs, which is Zero Trust Implementation Guides, and provides a holistic approach to maximizing the usage of the series. Notably, the ZIGs are designed to be modular, allowing organizations at least at different levels of ZT maturity to select and implement the capabilities most relevant to their needs of their environment. That's kind of cool. The fact that you can make it modular. Actually, having interviewed with folks that were looking to do a ZT rollout, which wasn't the reason I looked this up, it was actually on Reddit or something. You don't have to roll out ZTNA, Zero Trust, to everybody. I think it would just be a phased approach, first starting maybe with the security people. That way, we can eat our own dog food and figure out what the problems are before we foist this upon our users and customers in such a way that we break their environment. So I've always been a big fan of being the first to fall on the sword. If I'm going to implement a technology, you can definitely ask for people willing to volunteer to help out with the initiative, and maybe there's some kind of positive in the future for that. If you want to help, if somebody wants to alpha be part of the alpha for that, or the beta. But security should be the first people to be volunteering for that, because you need to eat your own dog food, and you need to be your own mistake, right? If you're implementing it doesn't even work for you, then why do you think it's actually going to work for your customers? Plus, you get to iron out all the wrinkles, maybe, and just it is what it is. Discovery phase is intended to help organizations establish visibility and understand critical data, applications, assets, and services, as well as access and authorization activity existing within the infrastructure or across the architecture. The goal of this initial phase is to enable informed prioritization and planning by creating a realistic baseline that supports effective zero trust implementation. So they're trying to, are you ready to go yet with it? And then here's how you do it in the first phase. So apparently there's going to be more phases as you go along here. So there'll be phase 1 and phase 2. So that, the primer, 14 activities, 13 capabilities in the discovery phase. ZIG, phase 1 is 36 activities, 30 capabilities. Phase 1 builds upon and further refines component environments to establish secure foundation. And then phase 2 is going to be like, as you have different phases, more and more things are going to become under your zero trust. So, but I would imagine, 3 and 4 are going to be advanced. So I'm assuming that that's going to be. So they talk about pillars, capabilities, activities, considerations, implementation, and summary. So pillars, let's see, got your pillars, users, devices, application and workload, data, network and environment, automation and orchestration, visibility and analytics. So those are your pillars, right? Continual authenticating, assess and monitor user activity patterns, understanding the health and status of devices to inform risk decisions, securing everything from applications to hypervisors to include protection of containers and virtual machines, data transparency and visibility enabled and secured by enterprise. Enterprise infrastructure application standards and robust end-to-end encryption and data tagging. This is not something you can just, flip a switch on, or, if you want to implement zero trust, it's going to take a good long while, depending on how, which is why a phased approach is there. I've actually even seen some people in blog posts that were like, you probably will not want to take zero trust and try to put it on top of your existing network. You almost have to be in such a way so you're building out a new network as you go along, because you don't want to take your old legacy network and just try to slap a ZT implementation on it. You're going to want to build from scratch, basically. Kind of like back in the day, if you're old enough and your back hurts, you might remember Gold disks, or the CD-ROMs they used to send out. You run the application on there and it would harden a workstation according to those guidelines. The problem was they had silver, gold, and platinum. Nobody used silver. Gold was the Gold disk, and then there was a platinum option, which was like harden. Like, it is a brick. You have your gold disk, which is like, yeah, you can still do stuff on it, and you might run into a little issue there. The platinum version is like hard. And if you're trying to run platinum on an existing workstation, I remember at one point we did that on a workstation, Wayne Dent. That brings back a name, Dwayne Dent. He lives in San Diego. I just haven't been able to find him. He ran that on his workstation, and he rebooted when it was done and couldn't get back on the Active Directory domain, couldn't log in, couldn't do anything. And at one point, it would actually even fail to bring him up to a login screen where he could be able to do anything. It was at that point we realized the only way you could actually implement the Platinum version of that is if you rebuilt the box from scratch, ran Platinum, and then did everything else you needed to do. So I think ZT in this case is going to be some of that. Like, there's going to be some things you're just not going to be able to do unless you build it from scratch over again. And you're going to have to take stock, right? You're going to have to know what's going on. And like, yeah, there you go. Analyze events, activities, and behaviors that derive context and apply AI and ML to achieve a highly personalized model. So we're implementing AI and ML along with our ZT. That's scary. Automate security response based on defined processes and security policies enabled by AI. Example, blocking actions or forcing remediation based on intelligent decisions. Man, I don't know. Yeah, that is rough. I don't know. Scenario, positive impacts, and technology subsections which relate to capability. The one thing you will find in this is I don't think they're actually going to mention like specific vendors. I think the NSA is trying to be vendor agnostic. So it's going to tell you what you need to do, not with what product or, so utilize enterprise authoritative source and or establish and augment with local authoritative source. I wrote a paper on a company merger who both companies had major existing vulns, and the merger wanted to incorporate zero trust, basically a new network design with transitional periods. Right, I mean, to your point there, the merger wanted to incorporate zero trust. Well, yeah, that sounds great, but yeah, you'd have to create, like you said, a new network with transitional periods. You're going to need, yeah, that's all well and great, but yeah, that, I mean, as long as both organizations wanted to do that, great, have at it. You're just going to need to. I hope the paper was like, this is how long it's going to take, and I hope you were ready for them to go, yeah, we need it half that time. So, oh yeah, this will take 6 months to do. Yeah, we need it in 3 months. Okay. I don't know if I told you. Oh, congratulations. I did not, you started your master's in December. Oh, congratulations, Digital Warhead. That's awesome. Is your master's, where are you getting your master's from? Is it, you going to UW? Going to the Dire Snail place? So, sorry. See, it's a snail. See, you have the snail head up here, and it's got some whiskers on it because it's a snail. This is the shell right here, and this is like an arm or something that comes out, and this is its foot. It's supposed to be a cougar, but all I see is a snail. Sorry, because I'm like, what are these up here? What are these antennae? What is this? Oh, WGU. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. It absolutely digital. If work is paying for that, pay for, make them happen. So, yeah, I can't not see a snail right now. So, it just is what it is. So yeah, this reads a lot like CIS benchmarks, where it's like, the end state is you're gonna be able to do this, but it doesn't exactly tell you how to do those things. It says here's the expected outcomes where you should be able to identify your managed non-privileged users or managed privileged users, identifying applications using their own user account management, identify authoritative source. So you're gonna get a lot of this where it's like, this is what you should be able to do when you've implemented control. We're not gonna tell you how to do it. These are the things you're gonna need to do, right? Identity source is connected to identity lifecycle management processes, joiner, mover, leaver, returner, etc. So those are roles, right? IT privileged users are clearly identified. So you're gonna manage your IT privileged users. But yeah, this is a sample activity. My bad. Okay. Okay. You got different definitions of those things. Where's the tables at? I want to see what the tables look like. Jesus. Okay. Implement application-based permissions per enterprise. Leverage the enterprise ICAM requirements. Okay. Okay, so we got a lot of flowcharts. There's a reason why a lot of this stuff you outsource to a company to come in and do for you. Have you ever looked at the Chicago? Do I want to? Do I want to? I can't. I want to flip this upside down. Save image as. Hold on. Bulls. Okay. Uh-huh. That looks kind of shitty. I see a sad face. I see two eyeballs with a sad face. Yeah. Do I want to know, Digital Warhead? What am I looking at here? If you want to DM me, if everybody's like, "Oh my God, you should." An Android logo. Oh, okay. I see the. Yes, I see the. I see the head. Right, and then okay. Right, as a DJ. Yeah, okay. Android logo as a DJ. Right, that makes sense. I can't. All right. I would never have seen that unless I'd looked upside down at it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I do see the. Yeah, and this is the turntable legs. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Go close that up. That makes sense. Android is a DJ. There's a lot of flowcharts in here. These are, yeah. There's a lot of things you're going to set up when you're setting up Zero Trust. And this is just the primer. This is like the thing that's going to get you to the next level, right? because this is the guideline primer, right? And not even level 1, because once you set all this up, then you have all the policies from levels 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 that you have to set up. It's very much like a hardening tool, like the DISA Gold disk stuff. So if you want to be ZTI implementation level 4, you're going to do this, right? And that's for like super hardened or sensitive information or like super secret stuff, because there's a lot here with regards to that in from 5.2.3. So yeah, what we're seeing is a breakdown of a massive flow chart, right? So from 5.4.1 and 5.2.3. So from here, now we're going to go out here. So yeah, I mean, it's like huge, right? Periodic assessment, implementing policy changes, validate and verify DAS migration. So what you don't see is this is a massive spreadsheet. Sorry, I'm making myself ill here. See if they have it like the huge bit here. Right. See all your acronyms. At least they have all of that. Yeah, here's your phase 1 and phase 2s. Implement app-based permissions per enterprise. So yeah, they do have like, these are the things you're going to do for discovery, and then levels, phase 1 and phase 2. So you're going to have different maturity levels for each phase, right? We're phase 2 on users, but we're only phase 1 on devices, and we can barely get out of discovery with regards to application workflow. And your company is going to set this up, and then it's like, we expect all of our vendors to use phase 2 ZTP, zero trust environments. I think I've seen the upside down Tesla logo. Let me see. This is why I have another whole screen over here for you. Yes. Okay. It's good. It's a good thing I have not followed that over. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I would pop my Tesla logo off if I could, but yeah. Okay. I invite you to go look that up on your own if you want to. It's probably get me ratioed. 91 targets, log parsing, threat alerting. So yeah, you have okay. Yeah, you're gonna have different maturity levels for your various bits here. So ideally, log analysis, threat alerting part 2, user and baseline devices. So yeah, all right. So I posted up the one for the NSA, ZTI stuff. If you want to take a look at those. Yeah, discovery phase. So if you want to, do any more threat modeling, you love threat modeling your CI/CD pipelines. There's that. And just before I go, because I am a glutton for punishment and I wish to be made fun of, I started looking for other places where you might learn how to run Python, gamifying Python for these things, and found this website. It's free to a certain point, but I was just futzing around with it, and so it's a game very much like what you would see on a Google Play Store. And you're learning a true name to defeat it. You're learning arguments, basic syntax, and strings. It's called codecombat.com. It is free, but you can pay for it. They do have a section. This is my avatar, I guess. You can actually change the heroes to be, if you want to, for subscribers, they have different, avatars for this. You can be a Gothic Dark Elf and Goth Dark Elf or whatever, or they have a bunch of folks up here that you can just use for that. So, and so you're doing certain things to attack. Like one of them was just learning how to move, right? So here's the methods that you can use down here, like hero, move down, you know, and you can say how many steps you want to move down. So, you know, I'm going to move right, and then I'm going to hero attack Brack twice. And you can do that, and you run it, and it's just code snippets. You can actually change the way that you do this by, let me go back to the map. You can actually change how you want to interact with the code. So it'll give you code blocks, so it'll give you arrows and like swords, and you can just drag and drop them. I think it's very similar, like if you wanted to teach your kids how to program with Roblox or something like that. Let's see, settings. Yeah, see, connect your combat and Roblox accounts. So if you want to teach your kid how to program with Roblox, you can use this to do so. You know, if you wanted to do any of that stuff. So. But yeah, so, you know, you can go in and start level. So you go up and you hit run, and, you know, you're going to type in whatever various methods there are, right? And it tells you this is what you're doing. Obviously, there's a lot of Python going on in the back end. It's not going to, yeah, I tried to do as much as I could to be like, I want to be able to write this myself. But they don't give you that option. But they give you like different goals you have to complete. Like you got to collect the gem, you've got to kill Brack and Treg, the trolls, because, you know, trolls are bad in this world, I guess. But you know, go in and attack. All right, you killed Brack, and now you have to continue to hero, move right. Actually, I could go probably, so if I wanted to do 2, you know, you can do that, or just, you know, move right, and then continue to run it. Quick blink, and oh no, oh, I did it. And so, you know, you probably want hero attack Treg twice, you know, but yeah, there's a little bit on the back end, but you know, if you want your, you know, let's see, hints. You can actually, you know, there's an AI, so if you wanted an AI hint, it'll be like, oh, you can ask, you know, 2 bot queries for the week. Just kind of a different way of learning an application if you wanted to, you know, do Roblox, or, you know, you wanted to teach your kids whatever. So, it has autocomplete, smart behaviors, wide editor if you wanted those things. So, and it actually will do JavaScript and other things. There's other languages you can teach it. Let's see, reload. Yeah, reload. There you go. So yeah, kind of a cool site. Learning options. Yeah, live online classes or self-paced premium. There's different options here, like Code Home Junior. There's an esports league where you can actually. They got an esports league for this stuff now. You believe this? So you've got they're making games and shit and fighting, and you got kids making, you know, legitimate code. I mean, that's like, you see the legitimate code here. And if you notice, some of these people are as old as I am, so it's not like, you know, they're all 8-year-olds or something. Some of these folks are, you know, fairly, you know, see, look, you got like real code and shit. Oh, and then you got the 8-year-old who's gonna beat my ass in, you know, StarCraft or whatever, or 10-year-old or 12-year-old or however they are. But yeah, so you got, you know, 14 to 18 rankings. These people are obviously not 14 to 18 years old, but yeah. And so yeah, Python, JavaScript, C++, and more. So, you know, if your kids want to try this out, give it a shot. And, you know, try it yourself. Just know that you're not going to really learn Python. There's a lot of stuff on the back end. I'm assuming once you do the premium version, you can get that, but they don't pay me for this. Maybe I should, you know, get sponsored by Code Combat or something. Anyway, I'm gonna go get ready for dinner. You know, hope everyone is had a good time, took care of themselves. If you're looking for a job, hopefully hiring.cafe helps out there, Walt, or anybody else who's looking for a position. And you know, not secret. So yeah, Digital, have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I will be back. I want to be back on Tuesday, but otherwise it'll be Wednesday. But I will definitely be on again at some point. And hit me up on the Slack or the Discord. I'm actually working on a Reddit as well, maybe. So we'll see what that comes out to. And yeah, y'all take care. We'll see you soon. Okay. Bye, everybody.